Hello everyone, it's XNexus. Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be doing another life story. So this is the life story of how I skipped my classes for the first time. So if you don't know what skipping is, it's also known as bunking off a few lessons, or I guess you could say ditching, and it's basically where you just don't go to a lesson that you're supposed to go to. It can be the whole day, or it can just be a certain lesson. So this was a year ago, and I was in year 9. If you're in the UK, you'll probably know what year 9 is, but it's around the age from 13 to 14, you know. So I basically I was having a pretty rough time. I was going through some rough times, and so was my friend Jenny. She's my bestest friend, and it was music. So we were in music together, or we were supposed to be going to music together, and as we were walking there, she just turned around and said to me, "Yo, do you want to bunk off?" And you know, the thing is, we'd never done it, and if you do it, if you get caught doing it, you get a CQ5, and that means you get a 75-minute after school detention and possibly a day suspension. So you know, a lot of people do it, but not a lot of people get caught, so most people still do it. And I said at first no, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to get in trouble. I was at that age where I wanted to do my work, get good grades, you know. So we went to music, and I had a pretty bad headache, to be honest, and I wasn't really feeling too good, but I still wanted to try. Now, my music classroom was pretty uncontrolled, and if you have a headache, the last thing you want to do is walk into a classroom where there's lots and lots of noise, and there's people shouting, things being thrown about. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, this is going to be hell. And my teacher hadn't come in yet, and I just turned around and I said, you know what, I changed my mind, let's just do it. So we had sat down, but I decided it had been about 2 minutes, and I got back up, and then we walked out before the teacher came in, because our teacher was always late for music. So we went to, basically, there's these things called the tennis courts, and it's by the music block, and it's basically inside the tennis courts. It's surrounded by mesh, like barbed wire mesh sort of thing, but it's not barbed wire. I don't really know what to call it. It's like a wide mesh. So we went around that mesh, and behind it is a field, and by the field there's something called the AstroTurf, and it's basically like a pitch where like if you're doing games, you play like hockey and stuff. So obviously what we did was we hid behind the AstroTurf, behind the fence, so we were like in a corner, I guess you could say. There were like hedges separating the AstroTurf from the tennis courts, and we were sort of between them, because everyone who was doing games was already outside, so no one could actually see us who was doing games or tennis. So we were pretty safe from anyone, and no one could really see us. So the hour went pretty quickly. No one really knew we were there. No one asked us any questions. We didn't see any teachers, because it's like pretty secluded from all the like blocks where people go around. And our teacher hadn't noticed, and we were doing good. I still had this headache. I was like, oh my god. We weren't making too big of a deal out of it, because I know at least 4 people who bunk off at least once a month and never get caught. They've only ever been caught once, which is one of my friends, and the reason he got caught is because he actually refused to go to a lesson and then went off and bunked. So and the hour went pretty quickly. Now, at this point, there was only 15 minutes left of the lesson, and my friend Jenny, she said to me, do you want to go get your lunch early? So I said yes, and we started walking to the lunch hall. Basically, in the lunch hall, no teachers really notice if you're bunking off or not, because you're allowed to leave early if you have a broken leg, or if you don't, you're not even that. If you've just got something wrong with you, they'll let you leave early. They don't even ask for a note. So all we have to do is like a fake a limp, and we would have been able to leave early and go there without being asked any questions. That's what we did. So I was walking down, and then Jenny realised like halfway. So it takes about 5 minutes to get to the dining centre, or the lunchroom. And Jenny said to me, "Yo, where's your backpack?" And this is where I went, "Oh shit!" And basically, what happened was, So what happened was, I noticed that my bag was gone, and so did she, because she pointed it out to me, and I went, "Oh shit!" So obviously, I just thought that I'd left it back on the field. So we walked back to the field. Didn't take that long, and then my bag wasn't there. Now my first thought was someone had noticed it and taken it, but then I realised that when we went into music, I actually put my bag down to go into music, because I didn't plan on actually bunking off at the start. So I left my bag in music, and we were freaking out. I mean, actually freaking out, because if we went in, our teacher would notice that we hadn't been there for the other part of the lesson, and it could have got really bad. So we didn't know what to do, so we spent like 5 minutes thinking about what to do, and we ended up thinking, well, maybe if we wait till the lunch bell goes and then we walk back in when everyone else is going out, we might be able to sneak in. Now, it got pretty bad, because we were standing outside, we were ready, and the bell went, and we were pretty sly about it. We walked pretty slowly, but we didn't make ourselves too noticeable. We went around the back into the music block, so no one would be walking out or in and noticing us. So we were pretty smart about it. The bell went. Okay, so this is when the bell goes, and we were about to walk in, and someone says, "Wait, was you in class?" And it was someone else in our class, and they were like, "Wait, were you there?" And I froze, like I did. I was like, "Oh, sugar plums," and I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Okay," and then they just walked off. And then I was too scared to go in the classroom. So I was too scared to go in the classroom. So what I ended up doing was actually waiting until the lunch bell was over, and at this point, we went in at the end of the lunch bell, and the teacher was in there, and she goes, "Isabel, did you go to lesson? Jenny, did you go to lesson?" Now Jenny had her bag on her, but luckily I was like, yeah, my bag's right there, as you can see, if I was in lesson, because my bag's right there. So, and luckily, if my bag wasn't there, I might have been caught, because she'd obviously noticed anyway. And luckily my bag was there, and I said I was in lesson, you mustn't be able to see me. Managed to find my stand. I never really had a bad reputation with teachers, so I wasn't too bad. I mean, I had a few suspensions and stuff, but after that, but before, I was pretty good. So yeah, that ended up nearly going completely wrong, but luckily I got my bag back. All's good. If you want to hear about my other 2 bunking off stories, comment down below. Thanks first for watching. Sorry about the bad gameplay. I just had nothing to record, so see you guys later. Bye.